make some linguine and baby clams, which are one of my favorites. It's such a simple dish, but there's so much flavor to it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like the base is like just like garlic, some crushed red pepper, some olive oil, some white wine. Like it's such a good.
Yeah,
dish,
I like the
I'm gonna put my hair back.
I had suggested you go for it. I suggested we do a. You got a call coming in, and of course, the call pauses the video for her, but she's doing her hair. We usually use bucatini, which is the long spaghetti-like, but it's hollow in the center to keep the flavor. Bucatini? But linguine, you can't. I mean, linguine is classic, so you got to do that.
Okay, so we're gonna start off with. I actually have the baby clams when you buy them. So I usually put them in a colander and have like a glass underneath. So this way, all the sand and all of that just drip down.
You soak them?
Yeah.
How long do you soak them for?
30 minutes.
Okay.
I usually do, but I change water in between. So I'll leave it on 15 minutes, switch the water, put more cold water, switch the water out. Because there is a lot of sand in these little guys. And actually some people even boil them before they even toss them with this stuff. And I'm not gonna do that.
All right, so they're not boiled yet.
I don't boil them. But what I'm saying is some people usually boil them prior to. I do not do that. I put them right into the olive oil with the white wine and all that stuff.
Okay. Now, isn't there a thing with clams, the shells being closed, like how to tell if they're good or not?
So when you go to buy clams and you bring it home and you're doing your sauce, your base or whatever, and they do not open, that means they're not good. So don't try to force it open because they're just bad. They're not, And some of them are late bloomers too, so they'll open up later on. Like this one's cracked, so I don't even think I would even use that, to be honest.
Can you try to see? Or?
You can, but the problem is when you put in a cracked shell like this, it'll break into the piece into the sauce.
Okay.
And then once you toss it with the pasta, it can break into little pieces, and then you're gonna end up chewing some.
All right, Donna Salerno said this is the one meal I want to learn to make with fresh clams and not canned.
Yeah.
Okay, well then you tuned in at just the right time.
Just at the right time. Okay, so like I said, so you're gonna wait when you put them in your base of your sauce. You're gonna wait until they open because, like I said, some of them are late bloomers, so you want to give them a little bit of time to open up. So we're gonna start.
I was a late bloomer.
So we're gonna start. And like I said, you really, really want to rinse these. So even after I rinse them for 30 minutes, I'm still going to go through and we're still going to kind of just brush it off with some cold water. If you have a little scrub or a little brush, you can use that as well. But kind of just, you kind of just want to make sure you don't have anything on there.
I think that's part of the problem with canned clams is even if you don't rinse them, I guess you should rinse them a little bit too.
Well,
but you always get a little bit of that grit in there.
Yeah, and the thing is with the canned stuff too, it's soaked in preservatives, some of them. And I don't know. I kind of prefer to have it this way. I think it's the best way.
So you soaked them and now you're rinsing each of them just to get that stuff off.
If you want to do that, do you want to do that or do you want to show them the
garlic?
Well,
I'll show them the garlic first and then I can do that. So, trick with garlic, instead of smashing it, right? Roberta did this segment on TV and then she tried it with me and I thought that,
he didn't believe me.
So, just pull off bulbs of garlic, stick as many as you need in a mason jar.
Either a mason jar or you could do a Tupperware container as long as it has a lid. Now the thing is, this is for something if you're using a ton of garlic, which we are. We're going to use about 8 to 9 cloves of garlic.
Which means 10 or 11.
So you do not need to add garlic if you don't like garlic. Is this your time to be obnoxious?
I mean, you wanted me to do this, right?
Okay.
All right, so about 20 seconds, and you pop it off, and then when you reach inside, you have a fully de-skinned garlic clove. All of them in here. You probably can't see, but all of them, the skin is basically off.
So instead of sitting there and literally peeling every single one and making your hand smell, which, I don't mind that smell on my hands. I love the smell of garlic.
Right.
But it's easier to do it this way when you're doing it in bulk. And if some of them don't fall off, you can put it back in. But
yeah, some of the more ripe ones may not. But you know, if you have a fairly fresh thing.
You saw, like, he actually had his doubts when I told him about this. But
now, like, see, this one didn't.
Yeah, but look at how quick.
I could just take it and it just comes right out.
Right.
Like that.
So the longer you shake it, the quicker the skins will come off. Anyway, so we're going to use about 8 to 9 cloves of garlic, which we're going to chop up fine, tiny. If you could do that.
She's looking at me with judgmental eyes, making sure that
I'm not.
She tells me that it has to be super fine.
All right, I'm going to start doing this because you're going to have to do that.
All right.
So I'm just rinsing these off just to make sure there's no grit, you know, or sand. So I feel like that's such a turn off, you know, when you're eating some kind of seafood and you bite into it and you get a chunk of sand or shells or something, you know.
So you want me to go get a razor blade and cut these like in Goodfellas?
I know, right?
So is that how you want to cut, right? You want it sliced real
I would
thin?
like it sliced thin, or you can just dice it tiny, whatever's easiest.
I think slicing it thin is the way I want to go with it.
Okay. And we are going to put some wine in there as well.
White wine?
White wine. Now, you could do this too if you would like, which is like a Linguine Clam rosso, which is red, which you would add then like a can of tomato sauce, which is totally delicious too.
Actually, you know, see, I love red tomato sauce, but there's nothing beats a garlic and white wine with seafood.
And you can't forget to have your bread too.
Oh, to sop it up in the
Clam
end?
shells are closed. Yes, they are closed right now because they're not cooked yet. Once they start to cook and steam, they will start to open slowly. And then that's when you know you're pretty much almost done, because it does not take long, you know. But like I said, you want to make sure all of them open, so you want to give them a couple of minutes, because some of them, you know, they're lazy or, you know, they're dead. So you want to get rid of the dead ones if they are, because they're no good. So don't ever try to force open, even with mussels and stuff like that, don't try to force it open, because it's not good. Okay.
I try to force my arms to make it look like I have muscles, but...
Oh my God. All right, so that's all cleaned, and like I said, I rinsed them. They were sitting for about 30 minutes. All right, so we're going to start with our base. Oh, we can't start with our base yet because you got to chop up garlic.
Yes, I do. So can you...
Do you want me to start doing it?
No, I'll chop up the garlic. You want to peel those last two for me? Because there were two in there that... Or you want to just shake it up again?
Yeah.
There were two in there that didn't do it, and I'll go ahead and... She mocks me every time I sharpen this. She tells me I don't know how to sharpen a knife. I was Boy Scout. I know how to sharpen knives.
Okay.
I use them for cooking.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So they're not going to be quite as thin as the garlic slices from Goodfellas, but you know, I'll make it work.
It doesn't really bother me. It doesn't need to be that thin. Like I said, you can even mince them.
Yeah, but there's nothing like eating and getting a nice garlic slice in the food. I mean, you can't beat that.
I love garlic too.
So do I.
So,
it's Thursday.
Almost the weekend.
The heat here in Pennsylvania has gotten
it's bad out here.
A little crazy.
All right, so I'm going to wait until he's done with these, which, you know.
All right, I'm going to go fast. Well, you're out of my way now, so I can go a little faster.
Okay.
All right. Of course, you put all the big ones right in front.
You probably should have done this, because then you can just bring that over and just put it in a pan.
Yeah, I could have.
So now we're going to have to sit here and...
well, that's okay.
You know, I just got a thing from Apple. Carrier update, like the Apple to update your thing.
Yeah.
It did it the other day without me even allowing it.
Is it doing it right now?
No, it just did it a couple minutes ago. It just popped on. All right. He's still working here, guys.
There's a lot of pieces of garlic here.
Well, that's why I said, do you want me to do it?
Well, then what am I going to do?
You can chop up parsley.
All right.
Which we're going to use a lot. We're going to use a lot of parsley. You basically will use pretty much like...
The whole bunch?
You could do the whole bunch or half. I mean, I would do the whole thing because I love parsley in there. And then we are going to use, so I love to get fettuccine like this, the fettuccine nests, because they use like straight, like this semolina. These are all just semolina. And I feel like they cook faster too. So in like 4 to 5 minutes, these get done, you know. And you don't want to overcook them because you're going to toss them in the sauce, and the sauce will continue to cook them too.
Okay.
So we'll put that
All right, I've got
in.
quite a bit of these.
Okay. How many did you put out? How many garlic?
Well, you said 9, so
Yeah,
I'm sure
8 to 9.
I did 11.
Okay.
You know, but some of them were smaller, so.
All right, so to the pan, we are going to add, you're probably going to add over maybe a 1/4 cup, maybe a little bit over. You want a good base to this because that's what's going to bring your sauce all together. This is kind of like, I don't know if you've ever had garlic and oil, aglio e olio pasta, which is just garlic and oil and pasta together. That's it. But your base is usually anchovy paste, garlic, and olive oil, and that's pretty much
You made
it.
that, didn't you make that on Dr. Oz, right?
Yeah, and Rachel Ray.
Rachel Ray was there?
Yeah, Rachel Ray had it too. But that's the base for that, and this is pretty much the same base. It's all, you know, you're using the garlic, you're using the olive oil, you're using crushed red peppers, which I'll get to. I'm not going to put too much because of our little guy, but so when your water is boiling, this is when you want to season your water. This is pretty much the only time you're going to have to season your pasta. You can't cook pasta and then go, ooh, I didn't add enough salt, and then add salt on top of pasta.
Because then it'll get granulated, right?
That's
you need time
weird.
for it to.
No, you just can't do that. I mean, you can toss it with Parmesan cheese and everything like that, but this is the time when it starts to boil. Salt it like the sea, because that's what you want. And a lot of the times, what we're going to do with this, we're going to save a cup of that water to go in with our sauce.
So let me ask a question. You have the, you know, we're having seafood, obviously, and it's a pasta dish. Now, I know you have, like, you and a lot of other chefs go with this rule of no cheese with seafood.
I don't think it's a chef thing, because chefs can do, you know, some of them do it, some of them don't. I think it's just the way you were, what your grandmom, your Italian grandmom would tell you to do. If you wanted to use cheese, I mean, I never grew up with cheese with our seafood, really. Are
you putting Parmesan in this?
I mean, at the end, if anybody
end?
wants to top it off with Parmesan, I'm not against that.
Just because of the pasta.
That's totally fine. That's up to the person, to be honest, you know? All right, so okay. I'm going to...
Let me just wash my hands here.
So I just added all that garlic into about a 1/4 cup, maybe even a little more, of the olive oil in the pan. So I'm going to bring that to like kind of a quick simmer, and I'm going to add a little bit of crushed red pepper to there.
All right, you want me to cut the parsley up, chop it up?
Yeah, please.
Okay. All right, I'll do that.
And I need the white wine.
And you said all the parsley, right?
Yes, I would.
All
I
right.
love to have. So when you're cooking with wine, make sure you use wine that you drink, because I feel as though when you cook with crappy wine, it's not really gonna bring out the flavors of your dish. If you don't drink and you just use cooking wine at home, that's totally fine as well. So he's gonna chop that up for me really nice and fine.
See, I can do this.
Just be careful you don't slice any fingers. You're going way too crazy. What are you doing?
I'm chopping.
I have no idea what you were just doing.
I'm chopping. You know, it was a long day today, so I feel like this week it went like Monday, Tuesday, Thursday.
Yeah.
The first half of the week flew by.
Now, some people will add like clam juice and stuff like that to their sauces. I don't, because I feel like once the clams start to open up, the juices start to come out, and that releases a lot of like the salt and the juices from the clams. You have to make sure too, when you're cooking this, you do not want to brown your garlic. because then you're gonna have kind of like a bitter sauce.
Yeah,
So right now it's starting to go up a little bit, like it's starting to kind of simmer.
It's true.
And I'm gonna add this. I'm gonna add right in. Now, make sure they're not soaked, because the interaction between the water and the oil will splatter all over the place.
All right, what am I doing with hi, Gail. What are we doing with the parsley? Just throwing it right in?
Not yet.
Yeah, Alicia, I did. It does. It just feels like it was a long... I don't feel like the first half of the week was long. It's just the second half of the week suddenly stopped.
All right. So at this point, close it. Let it do its thing.
Already smells amazing.
I'm going to add about 2 to 3 tablespoons of butter, unsalted butter, into that. So the butter actually just makes your dish a little more like velvety, like your sauce. So it's going to be like a glossy kind of thing, almost. If that makes any sense.
Oh, the smell.
Right
as soon as she
there.
lifted that lid, the aroma in here.
Do you think that they would invent some kind of way for people to smell stuff like that?
I think in the next 10 years, hopefully sooner,
Yeah.
you'll be able to smell what's going on in this kitchen, because
Can you do me a favor and just cut that lemon in half?
Yeah.
Obviously, I'll have the whole recipe up for everybody too.
Yeah. All the past episodes are now up on YouTube as well. Big Eats Small Kitchen. If you recreate any of this stuff too, just tag
me
Roberta.
I love seeing people recreate the dishes that we make. All right.
All right. So, what am I doing with this? You throwing these straight in?
No. I'm just gonna squeeze the juices in. So I'm going to actually put in my pasta right now.
Okay. Do you want the parsley in there?
Not yet. Parsley is kind of like the last.
Patty says it's frozen on her end. The video? I don't. Sometimes the telemarketers call in, and it freezes Roberta's phone.
Yeah.
But hopefully it cleared up for you. I don't know. If not, the video will be up later, and hopefully you can hear us.
Yeah. All right. I always like to put a timer on, because sometimes if you forget your pasta, then you're going to end up having...
Yeah, you want it al dente.
Yeah. All right. So now...
How do you know when you just try it, right?
What?
To get it al dente?
Oh,
Donna
no.
said, what's the YouTube name?
You always go... Sorry, I'm just going like this so I don't drop any...
Getting the seeds out?
Yeah.
Donna, it's Roberta's YouTube channel, and we have a specific subcategory under there, Big Eats Small Kitchen. What's your YouTube? Is it Roberta Pipito or is it Homemade Delish?
I don't know.
Okay, well it has the Homemade Delish. If you search Roberta Pipito on YouTube, and then you look for Big Eats Small Kitchen, it'll come up, and then you can subscribe to the channel, and you'll see Roberta's logo up there.
Yeah. All right. So what you were saying about the pasta. When you're cooking pasta, always look at your package. Always cook it 2 minutes under, 1 minute under, whatever the package tells you. Especially if you're tossing it with sauce and stuff like that, because like I said, once you remove it from that water, it still continues to cook, so it's still cooking as you go. Okay.
All right. Do you want me to? When do you throw the parsley in?
Not yet. I'll let you know.
I just got it. I don't want not that you would forget, but when I have nothing. So what are we sipping here? Joel got 2017 Cabernet Sauvignon, which normally we would have white with the clams, but we prefer.
See now when you're
red.
So when you're making this sauce, you'll see. I'm going to try to show you guys. There's the layer of the olive oil. There's the garlic. There's the crushed red pepper. There's lemon juice, And then we're going to do a splash of this in a little bit. So right now it's kind of like sauteing.
And that's, you're using a Chardonnay for that?
Yeah, you can see there. Oh, and I also added the 3 tablespoons of butter. So now I'm going to add about a half a cup of white wine.
God, it
Now, as you can
smells
see,
so amazing.
As you can see, some of them opened, some of them did not. Some of them are still opening because you're having that.
Yeah, I mean it's still getting up to temperature.
Yep. Well, it's
Looks like they're all gonna.
no, they're doing their thing.
Usually,
They're
most
playing
of
in
them
the hot
usually do,
tub.
You know.
You know. So
Playing in the hot tub.
yeah, exactly.
That's
so
what
what
I
I'm
need
gonna
to
do, actually, I'm gonna get a big pan too. So one of the things that you can do if you want to add like thyme, if you want to add what's the other one? There's like a, not dill, it's the other one. Why can't I think of the name?
Rosemary?
Not rosemary. I can't think of the name, guys.
You? Queen herbs?
I
You
know.
can't-
I could see it in my head. It's like a licorice-y smell
Oh,
almost.
fennel?
No. God, I can't
You-
think
you
of the
got
name
me
now.
then.
Oh my goodness. I can't think of the name. We usually use it a lot with seafood, too. I can't think of the name. All right, see how it's...
You got me. I don't know. You do all the work.
Not rosemary, buddy. Thank you.
Good guess, though, Tom. That's what I thought.
So anyway, so you're going to see that there's a lot of liquid there, but that's what you want because when you toss that pasta together, you're still going to have a little bit of sauce on the end, and then that's when you take your bread and you dip it in, like, oh my God, like my mouth is actually salivating.
Let that bread, a good like, what
I got ciabatta.
You got ciabatta
Or
bread?
no, I got a sourdough. Sorry,
Sourdough.
Sourdough.
Well, either one would work.
Yeah, you could do Italian bread, obviously.
Beefy bread. And break it. Don't slice it. Break it so it sops it up.
Yeah.
And I apologize for the profuse sweating that's going on here.
Why are you sweating that much?
Well, it's warm and
So-
the smell is amazing.
So now I'm gonna take a cup of that pasta water before I drain it, and I'm gonna reserve it in case I need it.
So why is that? Because the starchiness of the water?
Starchiness of the water, and you can like kind of put that in your sauce too, so everything just kind of marries together. Sorry guys for the steam bath.
You just asked me why I was sweating the way I was.
Yeah, but I'm not sweating that much. No answer for that one. I'm gonna put the lid on those little guys. All right, so if you want to stop the cooking process of your pasta, just drizzle it with some cold water. This way it'll kind of stop it.
And there's nothing like homemade pasta. It's just, you know, we haven't done that in a while, but
oh my gosh, yeah, we gotta do that one day.
We did that. Man, when's the last time you did that? You made that beef thing, that like stroganoff with the homemade pasta that time?
Yeah, the one that I want to make with you that you guys actually, some people have actually requested is my homemade raviolis, which is super, super simple. All you need is water and flour. That's it. You don't even need eggs. It's just hot water and flour, and that kind of breaks up the dough, and then you can smooth it out. It's so delicious.
And it's really light, too.
Yeah.
Yeah, our kitchen is like a sauna right now. Well, just because of the steam, but...
Oh, steam's gone. All right, so a couple more minutes, and then we're going to toss that all in.
So the parsley doesn't have to render down at all? It doesn't have to cook down or wilt?
No, because the thing is, if you start cooking down the parsley, what's the use of it? It's just going to turn dark, and it's going to burn, and it's going to lose its freshness.
Yeah. Ken said you're Brazilian. Of course you don't get hot.
No, I do. Oh yeah, I do. I get grumpy too.
Yeah, she
I
does.
don't like to be like sweating.
She does.
All right. So as you can see,
I think that was my cue to say, well, if you're Brazilian, you're hot. But, you know, bad pickup line. I'm out of it today. It's like...
All right. So as you can see, there's a couple here. See how some of them did not open?
Yeah, so there's probably 2 or 3 in there that are not going to be usable.
But like I said, so this little guy here, you can see he's opening, right? Look. He's a late bloomer, but he's opening up.
Well, the others might.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
It smells amazing. So you don't put any black pepper in that, right?
You can.
It's just kind of, you don't really
need it. You have
need
crushed red pepper in there. You know?
Mm-hmm.
Actually, can you do me a favor? Can you taste the sauce and see if it needs
Like she has to ask that. You know?
No, like if it needs any, like, you know, see if it needs any salt, extra salt or anything. I don't like to put salt in it because I feel like,
No.
you know. And
No,
then
that's fantastic.
when you toss the pasta, all right. So okay, so they're all pretty much. That little guy is opening.
Okay.
This one, if you can see, so it's been in there for a little bit. It is not opening at all. He's
So
like
that one's
sealed,
no good.
shut. He does not want to open. So you would remove that. You don't want to eat that. But everything else, as you can see, they're all open.
You know, I get a lot of comments on here and after saying, Rick, I should drink more. You know, you guys are making me feel bad.
All right.
I drink when we're cooking. This is like Jacques Pepin. I grew up watching Jacques Pepin, right? Did I say his name right?
Jacques Pepin. He's one of my
He
favorites.
his motto was, you have a glass when you're cooking,
Yeah.
and you have a glass with dinner.
Absolutely.
So that's what
All
I'm
right,
doing.
so now I'm taking the fettuccine and I'm putting it right in there. You're going to kind of just
Parsley?
marry, yep, towards
Okay.
the end. You can actually put it in already.
Oh my God, Mommy!
What happened?
Someone crashed into our house.
Oh my God, guys.
Oh.
Hey, somebody literally just drove into the front of our house.
Someone drove into the front of our house.
I'm going to have to, we got to go, okay?
Sorry,
We'll be
guys.
back. We'll post the recipe up later.